I'm not saying this just because I love Yuri, okay? Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. I'm not saying this because I love Yuri, okay? Please, trust me. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your favorite, Oshinoko Watcher. Oh my god, I am. We have returned with episode 6. In episode 5, not much happened. Really, the redhead, Arimakana, joined the Strawberry Productions. I mean, that was it. Really. That was it. I do not control the story. I do not control the show. I wish I did, but I don't. Aqua was also in a dating show, which I don't know if we're gonna see more of. Maybe it's just gonna be like a one-off. I don't know, but maybe. And then I also wrote down that Ruby is not doing shit. If she's that, and I said this last episode, but if she's that into being an idol, why isn't she like practicing? Why isn't she practicing dance? Why isn't she training her body, you know, for dance? Why isn't she taking singing lessons? You know, like, just kind of weird that she's not doing anything. Hopefully this episode's gonna be better than last episode, because last episode was I would imagine that, yeah, we're gonna see maybe like the ending of the dating show that Aqua's a part of, or something along those lines. The show has what, 12 episodes? Like, you can't be focusing on this. Ultimately, the fact is that considering we're on episode 6, there's no way we're actually gonna be able to finish the story. I can't give shows, anime shows, props for being basically an advertisement for their manga. I just can't. You know, if your show is nothing more than an advertisement, like a trial, early access to your manga, it's like, fuck off. You know, why, what's the point of making a show if you're not gonna finish it? Like, imagine if there was a Lord of the Rings, like an RPG or incredible video game on Lord of the Rings, right? Imagine if there was like I don't know, like an incredible game that came out, but only takes you through 20% of the story. It's like, huh? And then you're told, oh, it's so you go and read the books or watch the movies. Fuck you.
もう今がちやめたい。
こんな途中でなんでそんなこと言うんだよ。
最近ね、学校の男子とかがからかってくるんだ。
Yeah, fake.
お前こういう男が好きなんだ。
Yeah.
自分の好きって気持ちをみんなに見せるってこんなに怖いことないよ。始まるまで全然分かってなかった。大勢の人に注目されるっていいことばかりじゃない。
The problem here is I can't even tell if they're being serious or they're on camera. Because that's kind of the thing. They don't really show, like, they don't show it from behind the scenes. They show it kind of from the camera's perspective, most of the time anyway. So I don't know if they're acting in this scene or not.
ユキが辞めるなら俺も辞めるからな。
ノブ君、
そんなこと言わないで続けようぜ。
私は
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I figured, right? The sunset in the background, like, come on. Obviously.
やめちゃうんじゃない？ユキって繊細そうだし。でもそしたらノブ君はどうなっちゃうの？見て見て、記事になってる。私ちょっとは視聴者獲得に貢献できたかな。
そうだな。
で、番組やめるの？やめられないでしょう。契約残ってるのに。じゃあ演技ってこと？いやいや、黒川さんみたく女優じゃないし、私に演技なんてできないよ。ちょっと自分の気持ちを膨らませて話してるだけ。学校でいじられて悲しかったのは本当だし、やめたいって思ったことも本当。だって収録は朝一でやるんだもん。私眠くて
しばらく番組を一緒にして打ち解けてくると、各々のキャラクターが見えてきた。うまいやつ、裏表ないけど味があるやつ、番組映えが悪くて出番が少ないやつ。
あっか、上がったら飯行こうぜ。
いや、俺は
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like he said, for instance, with this girl, right? She's apparently an actor, but I think the best thing you can do, especially in this kind of scenario where you're kind of acting without a script, you gotta put yourself out there, kind of like the other girl did. Now, obviously, don't go like against the orders of the director or anything. If they tell you to do something, then you do it, but you can't really be like this. It's one thing if your acting ability is really good to the point where you can, like on command, you can just switch it on, right? Be like a Johnny Depp. Normally, you're completely normal and like soft-spoken, but when on camera, then it's like, hey, I'm Jack Sparrow kind of thing. You gotta put yourself out there in cases like these.
上がったら飯行こうぜ。
いや、俺はいい。家に飯あるし。
行こうよ。
ネスさんが焼肉おごってくれるって。
言ってないよ。
知ってるよ。最近登録者数増えてウハウハなんでしょ。
事務所の取り分55なんでしょ。
マジですか？
50-50? 80-20? Huh? Huh? Dude, I've heard of stuff like this in Japan before. 80-20? That is insane. Okay, that is ridiculous to the point where I would fire myself, okay? I wouldn't quit, I would fire myself. Even 50-50. With stuff like Twitch and stuff, to me is ridiculous. Okay? Straight up ridiculous. Like, they don't do anything for you. They just provide you the platform. And they want to take like fucking 50%? What? What are they doing? What are they doing for you? Absolutely fucking nothing. Now, YouTube, I've heard, because, I'm not monetized, I've heard that YouTube is like 70-30. So 70 for you, 30 for them. Which is better, but still, what are they doing exactly? They're not doing shit. Like half the time, no, not half the time, 99% of the time, they don't push you. Unless you are super popular already. Even the idea that like you take 30% of my revenue is like, it's kind of like, do I pay 30% of my income to my landowner? To the person who owns the sidewalk that I'm walking on? No, of course not. Do I pay 30% to the building owner that I'm working from? No, of course not. Like, that's why I think there's so many VTuber graduations these days from VTubers who are like corporate, because of stuff like this. Because of like 50-50 and 80-20, they realize that first, from their income, from their revenue on YouTube or Twitch or whatnot, the fucking platform takes a big cut, 50%, 30%, right? And then from what's left over, then their corporation that they belong to takes a cut as well. And at the end of the day, it's like all these things are taking a massive cut, and for what? What do they do for me, right? And now imagine, and bear in mind, this is based on percentages. It's not like a, hey, I'm paying you, I don't know, like a $2,000 a month, and you do these things for me. It is not like a set amount. It is a percentage. In other words, the more you make, the more you pay, right? Imagine you're making 100,000 a month. You are super popular. You are super successful, right? And what happens? You're making like 100K a month, and you have to pay 50K to like a corporation, like half of your money, 50K to a corporation. Like, let's assume that you're part of you're a corporate VTuber or something, right? And they take, I don't know, 30%, let's say, right? Just as an example, let's say you are making 3K. You are making 3K a month. You're kind of small, so let's say you pay $1,000 to your corporation, because 30%, right? Because you're part of their talent, roster, they do things for you. Maybe not a lot of things because you're not paying that much, but the point is the same, right? Now imagine if all of a sudden your popularity rose, and all of a sudden you are making 100K a month. You're still having to pay them the 30%. You're not paying them 1,000 anymore. You're paying them 30,000. And then you start thinking, okay, what is this corporation doing for me, right? I'm paying them 30,000 a month. What are they doing for me in return? Like straight up, what are they doing for me, right? I remember I thought about this when like some of the V Shoujo girls left the company, right? I think one of them said that it was like a financial decision, and I was like, I'm pretty sure she's pretty popular, so she's probably she's having to pay V Shoujo like a massive amount of money for what exactly? Like 2 events per year? If I was having to pay 30,000 a month to this corporation that I was a part of, and what do they do for me? They like maybe pay for like 2 events that I'm part of a year? That's not worth it, right? I could pay for these lower videos, I could pay for these new models myself and still pay much less than 30,000, you know? And it's like you start to wonder, why the fuck am I paying this company 30,000 a month when they're not doing anything near that much of like in worth, right? At that point, you're just losing money. It's the exact same reason why I would stop paying for healthcare, like health insurance, rather, if I was making a lot of money. Like if I was making a lot of money, I would stop paying for health insurance, because the one time in my life that I get into an accident, I've probably saved up easily enough money by then to just pay for the big bill. The fucking 30-something% that health insurance is taking me every month is like way more than that one-time payment that I have to do when I get injured that one time in my life. When you're getting a lot of money, when you're very popular, that 30%, that 50%, that 80% is very so much money that it's like insane. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Jesus.
じゃあみんなマジで恋愛してるの？
そのスタンスもまちまちかな。
意外と好きになっちゃうな。ファンの目もあるし、番組内ではそこそこに済ませたいけど。するよ。ホストに本気になっちゃう感覚に近いかも。
カメラ向けられると仕事モードに入っちゃってなかなかね。
するわけない。仕事だぞ。
俺はガチよ。なんなら結婚までいけたらおもろない？
わかりません。自分の役割果たすのに精一杯で、そんな余裕が。
恋愛リアリティショーは今まで見たことなかったから不勉強でさ。
Yeah, honestly, he's not wrong. It definitely depends on the person. I like how that one guy said, we're on camera, so it's kind of hard to get into like a relationship on camera. That's kind of weird. And honestly, I fully agree. That's really weird. I would never be able to I would be able to sell it up. You know, I would act it up for the cameras, but like that's not how I really am, if that makes sense, right? I would never on camera show my real self, unless it's for you guys over here and on my channel, right? This is pretty much how I am normally in real life, pretty much always. But my point is, if I was on a dating show, I would be friendly and stuff like that, and maybe even flirty occasionally, but I would never actually show my real feelings, if that makes sense.
偏見から入ったわけなんだけど、リアルを売りにするだけはある。想像してたよりやらせが少ない。そして思ったよりも各々の人間性をそのまま映す構成になってる。
考え込んでどうしたの？やらせが少ないのはいいことじゃない？
見てる側からしたらそうだろうけど、嘘は身を守る最大の手段でもあるからさ。
True. They have some insane cameras if they have this kind of quality during nighttime.
この後、角由紀と熊野信之のカップリングが番組の中心になっていく。そこに嫉妬心を見せる健吾、由紀をめぐる三角関係が成立。ユキというゲームメーカーが機能し、その小悪魔っぷりが番組を盛り上げ、中高生を中心に人気を獲得していった。
I mean, yeah, except for the fact that even though it turned into a love triangle or whatnot, even though the other 2 guys probably might be slightly serious about it, she most likely is not at all.
売れたいなら私よりあっちに絡むのが正解だと思うよ。
俺はいい。番組が終わるまで安全圏でやり過ごす。
野心がないな。そ
っちはどうなんだ？一丁がみしに行かないのか？
私はこのまま おバカ系癒し枠キープできればそれでいいかな。自分のチャンネルにお客の動線引くのが目的だし。
See?
アクタンがマジで
I think she's she's the smartest one here. Being an entertainer these days is you wanna have your own channel, wherever it is. YouTube, Twitch, Kick, whatever the fuck, you know, you wanna have your own audience. Trying to make it in some sort of corporate controlled fucking whatever the fuck company that does everything for you and takes all your money, where you're still basically just a cog in the machine, like I wouldn't say that's how it works anymore. Voice acting or just acting or singing or whatnot, everyone has their own channel on YouTube or, you know, Instagram, Twitter, you know, everyone has their own kind of platform. So she has the right idea. She kind of just does this to gain more, like,
私たちよりし
popularity for her audience.
中にも当時の羅生門には茨城童子が腕ぐりゴンゴを掴んでおむしゃるかの来航の
Interesting. So she's like trying really hard, working really hard. I'm guessing she's gonna be the character who doesn't have any talent, but works super hard.
金の出てるリアリティショーが人気出てるって言うから見てみたらなんだこれは総出演時間10分もいってねえんじゃねえかチャンスだっていうのにこれっぽっちも目立ってないマネージャーのお前がしっかりしなくてどうするですが社長茜も十分頑張るだけじゃ金にならないんだよ他にもやりてえっていうやつが大勢いる中で選んでやったんだ爪痕の一つでも残させろ
ごめんなさいマネージャー
聞こえてたか茜は精一杯やってるんだ気にしなくていいちゃんと俺が防波堤になるから
Wait, so that guy said she was chosen out of many people that wanted the role, but like, why is he like, there's no way this boss guy would act like that. He's acting as if their entire fucking company is relying on her having more screen time in this one little dating show. You know, like I get her position, but I feel like this guy being so angry over this, the boss guy, is kind of faked. Faked as in like artificial drama for the show. You know, it doesn't really make sense if you think about it, but it creates drama for her character. And like if I'm going based off of like logic here, she's probably gonna try to shake things up, you know, because she's like, oh my god, I have to do something. People are relying on me. I'm the problem, so I'm gonna like try something new. So she's gonna try to shake things up, and some weird shit's gonna happen. Like she's gonna probably, I don't know, like try to steal the limelight from the Yuki girl by like hitting on Aqua or something.
私が不甲斐ないから頑張らなきゃ頑張って爪痕残さなきゃみんなしてないって口では言うけどね断言するわアイドルの9割はエゴサをしてるイベント終わりの打ち上げとか一度行ってみなさいバンドマンも演者もみんなエゴサしながら酒飲んでて面白いわようわ要は大エゴサ時代広告代理店じゃなくてもビッグデータにアクセスできて感想や客層のアナリティクスを調べられるようになった
True.
その広告費はリアルに追いつき2兆円市場と言われているネットの反応を見るなって時代は終わったのよ今はもうネットマーケティングを怠った人間から脱落する世の中コンテンツとファンはすでに相互監視状態にあるそして芸能は私たちそのものがコンテンツ深淵を覗くとき深淵もまたこちらを覗いていることを忘れてはいけない
Yeah, do I agree with this? What she said? I actually like. Surprisingly, I'm liking this episode. Do I agree with what she said? Where obviously, you know, analytics these days is a big part of the entertainment industry, but should you be analyzing your analytics all the time? Hell no. Okay? That is in my opinion, in my personal opinion, that is a big mistake. Especially if you're young. I'm old enough to where I don't give a fuck, right? But these characters are supposedly, you know, like 15 to 18, right? You know, if you're that young, you're very impressionable still, and you care about the numbers a lot. You care about what people have to say about you. I mean, that's why pretty much every YouTuber in their career, in their long career, every like older YouTuber now has at some point said, hey, don't give a shit about the haters, right? You gotta learn to ignore them. That's why it's kind of like you have to just do your own thing without thinking about what people like or don't like about your content. It's one thing if you do something that your audience obviously doesn't like and then you don't do that anymore because it was badly received, but you don't want to constantly like try to appease your audience, you know? Just because a couple of people don't like something doesn't mean that the rest of your audience also doesn't like it.
何してんの？
番組公式 Twitter とか TikTok にアップする動画撮ってた。結構登録者数増えてさ、まあ私にかかればこんなもんだよ。
そういえばメモはもともと TikToker だっけ？
ささ、当時は広告収入も投げ銭もなかったから YouTuber に転身したんだけどさ。アクタも何かアップしなよ。
俺はそういう若い子の使うツールわからないし、いい。
じじくさ。
What is she? I mean, I like I said, I figured she would try to do something, but this is not really how to do it. Like you gotta. This is especially a bad idea. I'm surprised she's doing this. I'm surprised she's not thinking about the impact that this is gonna have. 'Cause let's be honest here. The show has already established a love triangle between the two guys and this one girl, right? So now her coming in and trying to steal one of the guys away, as it were, people have already created their ships. What you're doing essentially is trying to ruin it, right? So now people are not gonna like that you're coming in and trying to ruin it. Right? So like don't do that. Just like with everything else, you gotta find your own thing and then make that more popular than the current thing.
あかねちゃん攻めてるね。
そういやいたわこんな子。あかねだっけ？
あかね別にいてもいなくても同じじゃない？
あかねアウトでいいから男新面増やして。
目立つためにはどうすればいいかって？そりゃユキからノブを奪う悪女ムーブだよ。
Yep,
こ
you
れ
see?
ができたらキャラが立つし、間違いなく目立てる。もちろんこれは指示とかじゃない。でもこういうのできる子が売れるんだよね。
Okay, interesting. So they are going for the. I thought they might be doing that. I thought she might be doing that, where any publicity is good publicity. But in this case, not really. I don't think this is the correct time to do it.
お姉ちゃんがネイリストやってて教わったんだ。すごいね。あかねにもやってあげるよ。おいで。あ、うん。
What I think the best thing for her to do is get Yuki. Right? That would be the best thing to do. Instead of getting one of the guys, instead steal the protagonist of the show, the girl. That, you see, that is more interesting. The protagonist doesn't end up with one of the main love interests, but instead falls in love with the side character who comes out of nowhere. These two getting together, now that would be interesting.
放送も終盤だしね。気持ちはわかるけど、別にそんなんじゃ。私はどうにか目立って、結果を残したいだけ。そう。でも、そうはさせないよ。私は私が目立つように戦う。悪く思わないでね。
But again, obviously they're not going to do it, but like imagine if they did. Imagine if she was smart enough to realize this as well, where instead of getting together with one of these guys, it's more quote-unquote progressive, as well as just out of nowhere, more interesting, if this random girl that people kind of forgot existed comes out of nowhere and then these two get together. That would be like, holy shit, where did that come from? It's boring if you can already see the ending coming from a mile away.
ゆきちゃんとはなんでこんなに違うんだろう。ゆきちゃんより目立たなきゃ。
Mm,
ラブラドール好きって言ってたよね。あっちにでっかいのいた。
I'm telling you, it would be incredibly good if the two girls got together. I'm saying, I'm not saying this just because I love Yuri, okay? Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. I'm not saying this because I love Yuri, okay? Please, trust me. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. But no, seriously, that would honestly be the best course of action for this show that they're filming. The problem here is that she's feeling forced to make her mark, as it were, right? And so she's putting too much into it. Oh. Wait, what? Did she just... this is not good. You wanna... She wants to stand out, but don't stand out like this. Okay. I get it, you know, she's stressed out and shit, but like... Ooh. Did she just scratch her face? Because that is a very, very bad idea. Even if she does it accidentally, that's... I mean, ooh. It's gonna be cringe. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Imagine doing this to someone. Oof. Ouch. Ouch, bro. Ouch, bro. Entertainer scarring their face? That is... Oof. You done fucked up. Badly. I mean, it's bad, okay? You don't do that, okay? You don't do that. But it's not that bad, right? Especially with makeup these days, you can easily cover that up. If anything, it makes her look cooler. I'm hoping that Yuki, or whatever her name was, like, doesn't hold this against her. Or like, you know. But again, imagine this scene in the dating show, and then at the end they still get together. Imagine the storylines. I'm telling you, I'm a better director than these people. I'm just saying. You see? Come on, tell me you're rolling right now. Tell me you're rolling your cameras right now. Come on. Come on, tell me you're rolling your cameras right now. This is like the perfect thing, right? God damn it.
学校とかだったらちょっと揉めてすぐ仲直りみたいなことよくある話で。
I mean, if they're not filming this and turning this into a like a thing in the show, she's fired, right? I mean, let's be honest here. You caused injury to the other actor, to their face. It's one thing if they got like hit in the stomach or something. You caused injury to another actor, kind of on purpose, and everyone saw that. Even the cameras saw that. Now granted they're not live, but you know, you get my point. She's fired. 100%. Unless the other girl is like, hey, don't worry about it, you know, I understand what happened, don't worry about it, you know, I don't want her to get fired, you know, it is what it is. But even on principle, she might still get fired. The director of the show might be like, hey, you know, we don't allow this here, you gotta, you know, deal with your anger issues or whatnot, and you're fired anyway. Point is, she would most likely get fired. Yeah, see? You see? Exactly. She became the villain now.
それをネットは許さない。
Exactly. And this, in the end, oh boy, we'll read this. But this, in the end, comes back down to the fact that you can't allow random people to get under your skin. As a fan of Love Now, hear me out. You should have stayed in the shadows without incident until the show was over. Why did you have to get in the way at the last minute? Don't involve others in your selfish hysterics. You're a nuisance to the show. Oh, Jesus. I mean, yeah, she kind of she asks for this, basically. It is what it is, you know? That's not really how you wanted to approach it.
やっぱりと思った。ちゃんと謝れば許してもらえると思った。
Yeah, no.
との契約で放送に載ってない部分のことは言えないけど、言えることだけでもできる限り。
Oh, yeah. So they let me get this straight. They filmed the slap, or, you know, the scratch, and they put that in the show, but they didn't film the makeup afterwards? Like, are they stupid? That's why I was saying, like, are they filming this? And they were like, nope, cameras aren't filming right now. It's like, that's the best thing you could have done, but obviously no.
それが合図だった。お前見つけたら謝れば悪い。でも謝んない。メムちゃんが言ってた。人は謝ってる人に群がるんだよ。
Yeah.
謝ってるってことは悪いことをしたって認めたんでしょ?
Yeah. This is actually correct. I don't agree with the fact that you shouldn't apologize, but you should apologize in a way. You're not apologizing to the audience. You're apologizing to the person, right? So if you did something bad to someone, you have to apologize to them, not to the audience. I think it's so fucking stupid whenever I see anyone like on Twitter or whatnot, someone comes up with a fucking apology for whatever the fuck, and they always go into this apology saying, oh, I am so sorry for doing this, blah, blah, blah. It's like they're apologizing to that audience. Dude, apologize to the people that you hurt or did something bad to, and that's it.
悪いことをしたなら石を投げていいよね。そんな風に謝罪って日本人の道理的には正しいけど、炎上対策としては下の下なんだよ。私は悪いことをしたから当然だ。これはみんなの意見。目をそらしちゃダメだ。
They're trying to make it seem like this is the case all the time. And yeah, I mean, apologize by dying. I mean, yeah, there are people like that online. But again, these are the 1 in a million. Or maybe 1 in a couple of thousand. But still, you know, like this is not the ones that you should be looking at. These are the people who would say shit like this all the time anyway, regardless of whether or not you did something wrong or not. One thing I also want to add is, especially if both of you have already moved on, if you make it into a big deal, then it's a big deal. If you don't make it into a big deal, if you just casually brush it off, then so will your audience, so will everyone else. Most people anyway. That's just how it is. But again, she's like, what, like 17 years old? Young. They haven't learned to, like, ignore it. Exactly. You're better off not looking. But you look anyway, because, you know? Like, I'd like to believe that no one would be this affected by random people on the internet. I'd like to believe that, just based off my own personal experience, right? Because I don't give a shit. Again, they're like going with the absolute exaggeration of how it could possibly go and get worse. This type of shit doesn't really happen. At least not like this. Like, this is hella exaggerated. Apparently, they're making it seem like the second someone does something like that, immediately the entire internet will come and immediately try to destroy her, and then everyone around you will start saying all kinds of bad things about you. Like, that's not how reality really works, but okay. As I said, very exaggerated.
とりあえず今は何もツイートしない方がいいかもな。何を言っても燃料を与えることになるだけだから。何か言うときは相談して。
番組の更新日、内容を確認する気力は
Good, good. Don't check, don't check. Don't look, don't watch.
盛り上がっているのを見て、大体中身に察しはついた。そして、この番組が注目される限り沈静化はしないことも。
The real question, and I think something that probably would have happened realistically, is fucking the other girl, Yuki, right? Would have tweeted and like said, hey, don't like harass her or whatnot, like don't mess with her because like, you know, it wasn't a big deal, you know, and we're good friends now, and we hang out all the time. And I think that would have, realistically in real life, that would have happened.
ずっと付きまとう問題だと思う。
But they're obviously going for the exaggerated hate route.
こんなやつは何やっても無駄なんだよね。
友達いなそう。
周りとうまくやれてなくて人間性の薄っぺらさが出てるよね。後先考えないバカな子じゃん。
I mean, you hear all these things, right? But what you don't hear are all the compliments that she most likely also got. That's the thing, right? You focus on all the bad things.
男に囲われて気に入らないことがあるとすぐヒステリーになる。
Because most likely she probably has easily 10 times the amount of compliments than all these, you know, these critics, I guess.
もうお前の席ねえから。
If those were the only comments that she ever got as she was growing up, there's no way she would have gone down this career path.
めちゃくちゃ頑張り屋な子なんだけどさ。今回の騒動を見てたら、そういうのもただのアピールに思えてきた。今まで押してきたけど、ちょっと無理になった。
Again, I mean, it's her own fault here. For just looking at these comments all the time. I mean, but again, very exaggerated.
男癖もひどくやりまんって話。
完全に芸能人としては終わりでしょう。売り物の顔殴るやつ使うはずねえもん。
バイバイあかね。残念だけど、もうテレビで見ることはないね。
Again, what forums is she looking at? Because, you know, what is this, 4chan? Okay, if we go 4chan, then yeah, maybe I can see this. I feel like they could have just toned it down a little and had a much better, like, more realistic version of this. Let me guess, she's gonna contemplate suicide, right? Because that's how it always goes.
考えるのもう疲れた。
And let's be honest here, it probably hasn't even been that long. Right? I mean, how long have they been filming this dating show? I think they're still filming it, which means like it's been like what, like maybe a couple of weeks? And it's like, first off, the hate train would have already moved on by now, because let's be honest, no one can stay on topic for a couple of weeks. And secondly, just from a couple of weeks of bad comments of people harping on her, she's already ready to, you know, off herself. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, yikes, bro. That fucking Aqua. God damn it. How is she here? I mean, how is he here? How did... I'm not gonna talk too long about this because the video is already long enough, because I've been ranting a lot about things, but I will say I didn't like the ending here. I think the fact that she's willing to immediately commit suicide like this quickly, and then Aqua just coincidentally being there to save her, it's so stupid. I thought this whole like hate thing and like how they got to the hate thing was pretty good. Like, but it went downhill when they started showing what all these people online are saying, because again, that's like maybe 1% of all people. Essentially, they made it seem like 100% of all the comments were like this, where they called her a bitch, told her to die, and stuff like that. That's not... Maybe if you're only looking on 4chan, yeah, on Twitter or similar places, that's not how it would be at all, pretty much. Like, yeah, as I said, you know, injuring a fellow actor or model or whatnot, right, on their face is like a very big no-no and very bad, but the response from the management as well as the actor who was affected weren't really realistic with the fact that they didn't say anything. They hella exaggerated the whole bad comments thing. But I guess the point was that she's like ego surfing all the time, looking at these comments, right? And I guess that was the whole point of the episode, of Googling yourself, essentially. You know, very, I don't know. And then obviously Aqua, again, coincidentally being there and saving her, it is what it is. I didn't like the last third of the episode. Like, they veered off realism. It was great, I think. It was very, very good. A very good episode up until that point. It feels to me like they couldn't come up with anything that would be bad enough other than an injury to the face for a model. But then also like, oh, she's a good girl, so she wouldn't ever harm someone on purpose. So how do we get her to injure the other girl's face and make people think that she did it on purpose? But she didn't do it on purpose, it was an accident. But at the same time, still make it seem like she did it on purpose. Oh, she just kind of swings her fucking arm randomly and it just kind of scratches her face. You get what I'm saying? It's very weak and random. You know, I don't know. Such a bad way of doing it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed episode 6. I definitely liked the episode, but the last third, as I said, kind of just went off the rails. If they just toned it down a little, it would have been much better and more realistic, I would say. Again, they seem to exaggerate everything they do. And then also the fact that, you know, Aqua obviously just shows up coincidentally. It's Coincidence City all over again. I hope you'll join me for episode 7 of Oshinoko, and I'll see you later.